Once you go into PowerPoint, what you will need to do is to take this box and move it up so it's out of your way. And then you'll need to do a right click and you're going to want to format the background. For formatting the background, we want to make sure that it is a dark color. We want to go to making it black or some kind of other dark color. For a credit slide, we're going to say apply, and then inside this box I'm going to need to change the text. So up here for the color of the text, I'm going to go for white and I'm going to type credits. I'm going to make that larger, so I'm going to go up maybe to 48. I'm going to make it bold, and I can still move it up further on the screen. Next, I'm going to take this box and I'm going to move it up right there. Okay, so now you can see that I have the slide ready. What I need is to be able to get the URLs, and I'm going to paste them into this box. So I'm going to minimize. Here we are. So here are my URLs. Now, when I look at these, I can see that some of them are very long and they're not going to fit very well in that box. So some of these are too long here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my URLs and I'm going to copy the URL, Control and C, and I'm going to go to a program now that's on the internet that is called tinyurl.com. And in this little box right here, when I enter it, it's going to shorten it. There are many different URL shorteners that I can use on the internet, but tinyurl is what I've selected for you to use. I paste that URL in there and I say make it tiny. So right down here you'll see the main URL right here that I used, and now it's shortened it so it will fit better on my slide. So I'm going to go Control and C, and I'll go back to my Word document, and I'm going to replace this URL right here with the short one. So I'm going to type it selected, and I'm going to go Control and V, and now you'll see that the short one has come up. So that's what I'm going to do with all of my URLs in order to make them shorter, because some of them, like especially this one, is too long. So again, I select it, I'm going to Control and C, and then I'm going to go over to tinyurl, and I just did it, but the box is empty here, so I go Control and V, and I go Make Tiny. And now I have a different tiny URL for that one, and I Control and C, and then I go back to my document again, and you'll see that it's already, the one that I'm working on is highlighted. So I'm just going to go Control and V. I don't have to delete it first, it's highlighted, and Control and V, and it will automatically paste it right there. So you're going to work through that process with all of yours, and then I'll show you how to put them on the slide and to save. Okay, so here I am with all of my URLs done and shortened. Some of them I haven't shortened because they're not too long. I've enlarged the titles. Notice I put them two spaces between them, and I have all the URLs below them. A little bit of information about what each one is. Now I know that I have a lot of pictures, which is great, but what I need to do is have 2 credit slides. So I'm only going to take half of this list right now, and I'm going to take this list from the younger life all the way up to the book cover, Control and C, about half of the list. I'm going to go back to my PowerPoint, and I'm going to put my cursor here, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to paste it. Now you'll see it automatically did some formatting for me. What you'll want to do though is to go back to each of your words, descriptive words there, and you're going to want to go to 28. Make them larger and make it bold. Make sure you click white again so that they come out as white and not gray. Go ahead and do it again and go through and make them all 28. white and bold, and then I have it. So this is the credit slide for the first credit slide. I'm going to take this slide right here, and again, I'm going to move this up here, and in this case, I'm going to write credits continued. Now you'll notice I don't have another box here, and I'm going to need one. So I'm going to go to Insert and Text Box, and you may already have one, which is fine. I'm going to draw my text box. It won't expand until I put in the rest of my text. I go back to my Word document. I copy the rest of my citations here, and I'm going to go to Jane is a Researcher, and I'm going to copy, and I'll go back to PowerPoint, and I'm going to paste them in here. Okay, now you'll notice that I still haven't changed the background. I wanted to review that. Again, I'm going to right-click, format the background, go to black, and apply. And I will go ahead and change it to white here. White, bold, 28. I want to make sure people can see them. I worked hard to get those citations. I want to make sure people can see them. And if you don't have very many citations, you may want to make them even larger than 28. Make sure people can see them. Okay, so I have them here. Now I have a little formatting issue I want you to be aware of, and you can make a choice on this. And that is that on my first slide, you'll notice that they're centered, which is fine, but I need to have it consistent. So if I'm going to center them on the first slide, then I need to select all of these and I need to realign them and center them. This is the alignment features, and the center is right there. So I'm centering them is what I'm doing, okay? So that you can be able to see that. Now the trick with this is to save them, and I will go to File, Save As. I want you to notice that the default is PowerPoint, but you cannot use a PowerPoint in Animoto. So what I want you to do is to click it, and you're going to see there's lots of choices. You're going to want to save it as a JPEG. Okay, save it as a JPEG. I'm going to name it Credits. And I'm going to navigate to my folder, which I happen to know is on my desktop. And there it is. And Credits, it's a JPEG, and I'm going to save. Now watch what it does. It's going to ask me, it's going to say each of the slides will be saved. I definitely want them each saved as a JPEG. So I say OK. So that's how I make my credit slides. I ended up with 2 slides because I have so many, and I want to make sure people are going to be able to see my credits. I hope that this helps you and that you can review it as you need it when you're working on your credit slides.